Hi, this is Russ Bucher from Control My Nikon, and in this video we're going to take a look at what's new in Cinematographer Pro version 4.0. The Cinematographer Pro is a sister product to Control My Nikon. Control My Nikon is an application that allows you to control your camera and capture images, set various camera settings, and also capture some video in a very basic way. Cinematographer Pro is a dedicated video capture application that allows you to visualize your composition, check your focus and exposure, and then capture the video and transfer it back to your computer. Now, the advantage of doing it within a program like Cinematographer Pro is that you don't have to look at the small LCD display in the back of your camera. You can look at it in a much larger environment, such as on a laptop or a notebook screen. So here I have Cinematographer Pro running, and let's take a look at what's new. First of all, I'm just going to shut it down, and I'll show you the differences here at the beginning. Now, the biggest change is that we have support for two more bodies. Before, we only had the D51 and D7000, but now we can also capture video on a D800 and a D800E and the D4. So to connect, you just pick the body, and right now I'm connected to a D7000. And I'm just going to click on close and then connect. And you notice the status display also looks a little bit different here. And I'll click on live view. Now, this live view display is using the same features as the display within Control My Nikon. So it has better performance and is able to use multiple CPUs within your computer. Now, if you like to record, you just click on record. And when you're done recording, you just click on it again. And now it'll automatically transfer that to your computer. I'm just going to go and take a look what was transferred. This is the one right here. Double click on it, and it's just playing in Windows Media Player. Let's see what else is new. Now, one of the big changes is how we do margins and overlays. And on the previous version 3.0, it had a margins button here, and you would specify where the lines are here, and you basically use that to help frame your composition. In version 4, we've done away with that and replaced it with overlays. Now, an overlay is a PNG image that is overlaid on top of your live view image. So all you need to do is create a PNG image and then set it up within Cinematographer Pro to overlay it on top. Now, this could be anything. I just made up a sample one here in Photoshop using these margins, and I might use this to ensure that the main action of this video is within these margins. But you can create any kind of overlay that you like. And we also have the inner and outer exposure markers. Now, these are used to show what is within a certain range of exposure, which I have here in green, and what is outside of a certain range of exposure. So here in red is showing what is very bright and very dark. And we also have a histogram, and this is a tracking histogram, so you just hold your mouse over an area within the image here, and it'll show you where that is within the histogram with these vertical lines here. You see this dark area, lines are far to the left. And within the focus here now, you can set your focus box, and you just click on the screen here to set the location, and then you can tell it to autofocus. And we can zoom in as well just to confirm, and new on version 4.0 is the ability to autofocus while you're zoomed in. I just have a D7000 with a 1.8 50mm lens on. And we also have the ability to do peaking, which shows you what is currently in focus. This is handy if you're a focus puller and need to just be able to see exactly what is in focus. And we tightened up the strictness of this well, so if you press the strict button here, it will reject some of the things that are slightly less in focus. We also have a new clone window, and this clone window now no longer shows the additional layers. So you could put this on a separate monitor for someone else to view while you are viewing this main image. So you might have your inner and outer set up here and maybe an overlay, and then you could take this clone and just put it on another screen. Now to help make the control a little bit easier here, you can also set up hotkeys. And before they were hard-coded, now you can configure them. So if you go to settings and to shortcuts, you can just double-click in an area here, select a key on the keyboard, and then you can control any of these commands, which is basically all the commands in the system. You could also map the buttons on a PowerPoint remote to these commands. And I'm just going to switch the theme to light. Now, one of the things you'll notice on this version is that you can no longer control the ISO and the shutter speed and the aperture. And we had a lot of feedback from our users on this, and what we determined was pretty well all the people who are using this program are in full manual mode on their camera. And ahead of time, they'll definitely set the shutter speed, which is typically twice your frame rate, so maybe 150 in this case. So they'd set that on the body. The ISO would be set and not changed, which really just left the aperture. And the way the Nikon bodies work is quite often you just can't set aperture in live view mode. They won't permit it. So we took this out, and so now you'll need to set those things directly on the camera body, and you just need to exit live view. You can remain connected to the camera and tethered, set those things, and then go back into live view. This is really just part of the overall workflow within Cinematographer Pro, in that everything is full manual. And that's it. That's what's new in Cinematographer Pro version 4.0. Happy tethering.